Hey everyone, and welcome to yet another day of social studies. Today is a very important day as it is our first assessment of this semester. Now, don't panic. I don't think it'll be too difficult. I'm going to go ahead and walk you guys through exactly what I'm kind of looking for. And then you guys should have the entire rest of the class period to work on this. So the goal today, pretty simple instructions, and then lots of time for you guys to work on this assessment. So we've been talking about industrialization this week. You guys are going to take some of that background knowledge and some of the skills we've been giving you to go ahead and learn about transportation and do some analysis and synthesis, which we'll get into in just a second. Okay, so our agenda, we'll do our notebook, okay, which we'll do in just a second. And then there are two parts to the assessment. They're pretty straightforward. I think you guys will not have an issue with this. And obviously, you'll have a very short out for the day. Okay. Our learning target today, you are going to demonstrate your map analysis skills through the transportation assessment. Okay, so today is going to be based around map analysis. Okay, you're in for today. How do you think people traveled from one place of the country to another before roads? What do you think? Go ahead and take a second, write that down. Today's date is January 15th. Go ahead and pause the video, take about 5 minutes, do your notebook. When you're done, go ahead and come on back. All right, welcome back. Hopefully you got that done. Let's dive in and see what's going on today. All right, so real quick, there are two parts to this assessment. I'm going to talk through it real quick, and then I'll show you the actual assessment so you can see kind of what's going on there. So part one is transportation background reading. Okay, so there are some guided questions in there. Make sure you are marking the text according to those questions. This part of the assessment is one just to kind of see where you guys are at with reading comprehension with the text. And it's going to give you some information that'll help you with answering some of those map analysis questions, okay? So you will do that part first. Do take your time with that, or you may have a difficult time answering some of the questions. Part two, then you'll be doing the actual map analysis. Okay, you're going to read and analyze the three maps of transportation in early 1800s America. There's three maps to look at. We'll take a look at that in just a second. Make sure you analyze those well. Then you'll use what you've learned from the reading and from the maps, and you'll begin to answer those analysis and synthesis questions, okay? There's some questions that are just, what is the map telling you? And some of those questions, you're going to have to apply some knowledge you learned from the reading to help you interpret what's on the map, okay? Like I said, this is to kind of test where you guys are at with your reading comprehension and your map analysis skills. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Once again, I can't help you guys answer any questions because it's an assessment, but if you need a question better explained to you, absolutely let me know and we'll help you out with that. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the documents you'll be using for this assessment. Let's see if I can exit out here. There we go. We go over to our document. By the way, both these are attached in Google Classroom. So the reading is a PDF. You'll have your own copy of this so that way you can mark it. You will go ahead, open it with Cami. Give it a second to open here. It's loading slowly. There it goes. All right. Oh, maybe refresh the page randomly for some reason. There we go. Okay. So it's about 6 pages. Those pages are not super long. Okay. You're going to go ahead and read through them. You have 2 guiding questions. Okay. First guiding questions for about the first 4 pages. The second guiding question is for about the last page and a quarter. Remember, when you're marking the text, we are looking for highlighting or underlining of those important information parts. Okay, I said that really poorly. I apologize. We're looking for you to highlight or underline important information. Important information, once again, is information that answers the guiding questions. Also, remember to circle those key terms. Those are your bold words. And lastly, go ahead and number the paragraphs. Okay, so take your time, go through the reading well. Do remember to number those paragraphs if I haven't mentioned that yet. Okay, take your time with this. It will help you out a lot with the map analysis portion if you take your time reading this. After you finish this, you can go back into Google Classroom. You'll go down to the document titled Transportation in the Early 1800s Map Analysis. Wow, that's quite a mouthful. But you'll go ahead and open up that document and it'll look something like this. You guys are going to analyze the map below and synthesize the information from the transportation reading to help you answer the analysis questions that begin on page 3. Okay, so there are 3 maps here. Map A, roads, canals, and railroads in the 1800s. Okay, take your time looking over it if you need to. Minimize the map. If you're going to be in person, I will display it for you so you can see it a little better. Second map, map B, is the National Railroad from, that should say, 1811 to 1837. And map C are canals, 1820 to 1860. Okay, then question 1, describe what you see on each map. Section A here is for your description of map A. Section B is for your description of map B. And the C section is for your description of map C. Moving on to question number 2. Compare and contrast transportation options in the north versus transportation options in the south. You can use all 3 of these maps to help you with that. The south is kind of Kentucky and Virginia and south of it. Just kind of give you guys a little bit of a hint there. All right. Okay, so compare and contrast. What do you notice about the north? What do you notice about the south? What's similar? What's maybe not so similar about their transportation options? Okay. Number 3, in what ways do you think the national road affected communities that it went through? Provide some evidence using the maps above. Okay, so one of these maps deals with the national road. I'll let you guys figure that out. Okay, you then need to answer, how do you think it affected the communities that it went through, that it touched? Okay, and then use some evidence from the maps. I think you guys will find that pretty simple. You can also pull some information from the reading. Question number 4. Why do you think so many of the canals were built in the north? Okay, may have to get some information from the reading there. Question number 5. Why were new forms of transportation so important to the nation? Why? What's going on at this time? Okay, you guys can answer that. Number 6. What do these maps tell you about life in the north and the south? How did technology change the way people lived? You guys are definitely going to have to pull in some background knowledge from earlier in this week and tie it into what you've read today, along with what you learned from the maps. And lastly, how did industrialization impact transportation? How did industrializations, let me fix that, industrializations, impact on transportation affect America? Really helps if I type correctly. Okay? And I'm going to say that this time. All right? So make sure you answer these well. Take your time, use complete sentences and so forth. When you are finished with everything, you guys may go ahead and turn it in. Okay? Let me go ahead and put it. Write your answers in complete sentences. That way you guys know exactly what I'm looking for. Okay? When you're finished with this, you'll go back into Google Classroom. Go ahead, turn it in for the day. And the last thing you will do, go back to the slides, answer your out. And the out question for today is, I'm going to go ahead and move myself and make it bigger so you can see it better. Which area of the assessment was most difficult for you? Okay, assessments are not, end of the line. Obviously, I want to kind of see how we're doing with map analysis and reading comprehension, and if we're having some areas of struggle, let me know. That way, me and Mr. Hallwagner can continue to help you guys grow in those areas. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you guys as always for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you guys all in the next class. Enjoy your day off on Monday.